Deleted Peppa Pig episode, Daddy Pig's Smile, which was never showed on TV. It starts like a normal day. Daddy Pig is outside fixing something in the garden. He turns to Peppa and smiles, but his smile is a little too wide. Peppa laughs, awkwardly, but the sound fades quickly. Later, during dinner, Daddy Pig sits at the head of the table. His mouth has stretched wider. His smile never disappears, even as he eats. He doesn't blink, doesn't speak, just chews and smiles. Mummy Pig glances nervously and says, "Daddy's just in a good mood," but her voice trembles. That night, Peppa wakes up to get a drink. Passing the living room, she sees a light on. Daddy Pig is sitting in the dark, the same wide grin. His mouth is huge now, almost unnatural. He whispers, "I'm happy. We all should be happy." Then he starts laughing, quietly. The laughter never stops. Peppa runs upstairs. As she passes the hallway, she notices the family portraits. All of them have changed. Daddy Pig's face now has that same monstrous smile in every single photo, even the old ones. In the final scene, Peppa wakes up in her bed. The room is dark. Someone is standing in the corner. Step by step, he moves closer. It's Daddy Pig. His mouth reaches nearly to his ears now. He leans down toward her and, in a glitchy, distorted voice, says, "Smile, Peppa, forever." Deleted Peppa Pig episode, They Arrived at Night, which was never showed on TV. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos. One night, Peppa woke up to a strange sound, as if someone was scratching the roof of the house. She looked out the window and saw a light, bright, green, blinding. A huge flying object hovered right above their house, silent, unmoving, as if it were watching. The next morning, no one remembered what had happened during the night, except Peppa. George had a strange mark under his eye, tiny circles that glowed in the dark. Mummy Pig kept quietly repeating the same phrase while staring into nothing. "They'll be back soon." Daddy Pig just sat and stared at the sky. He didn't eat. He didn't speak. At school, no one talked to Peppa. Madame Gazelle only gave her a strange look and whispered, "You saw them, didn't you? Then you don't have much time left." That night, Peppa woke up again. 3 figures stood in her room, thin, gray, with huge black eyes. They didn't move, didn't blink. They just stared. And then Peppa heard a voice in her head. "We chose you. You remember more than you should." Her body went numb. She couldn't scream. She just lay there as one of them reached for her nose and touched it. The next morning, Peppa woke up in her bed, but everything was wrong. George called her not the real Peppa. Mummy was afraid to enter her room. In the mirror, a different piglet stared back, with empty eyes and a faintly glowing mark on her nose. Deleted Peppa Pig episode, Preu13 virus, which was never showed on TV. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos. It started with a simple sneeze. Daddy Pig caught a cold after working in the garden and spent 2 days in bed with a fever. "It's just a runny nose," said Mummy Pig. "It will pass." But on the 3rd day, he stopped responding. He just sat at the table, chewing slowly. His eyes turned cloudy, and his skin took on a grayish tint. Then he lunged at the fridge, tearing into bags and food, grunting louder and louder. Mummy Pig locked the door. Panic swept through the town. The news reported on the HRYU13 virus, which was turning pigs into hungry, mindless creatures with only one desire: raw meat. The school was closed. The teacher was seen outside, dragging a bag and mumbling, "Homework, homework." Peppa and George climbed into the attic, shut the hatch, and turned on their walkie-talkies. "George, don't fall asleep," said Peppa. "If I start grunting, don't come near me." That night, they heard a knock. "Pee-pa, open up." She looked out the window and saw the street was full of zombie pigs. Among them, Miss Rabbit, Danny, even Susie. They were all grunting and repeating, "Pee-pa, come out and play." Deleted Peppa Pig episode, The Little One Who Came at Night, which was never showed on TV. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos. It started on a completely ordinary night. Daddy Pig was dozing off in front of the TV, George was cuddling his dinosaur, and Peppa was drawing in her room. Mummy Pig was holding her belly. The due date was close, and everyone was waiting for the new baby. But the labor began suddenly, at 3 in the morning. The lights in the house flickered, the clocks stopped, and outside the window came a strange scraping sound, as if someone were dragging a hoof across the glass. Daddy took Mummy to the hospital but returned alone, holding a small bundle. "It's a girl," he whispered. "She is special." From that day on, the house no longer felt cozy. The baby never cried. She simply stared at everyone without blinking, her eyes far too dark for a newborn. She was never heard during the day. But at night, one morning, George was found unconscious. On his neck were 2 thin puncture marks, like from sharp needles. Daddy said it was probably a mosquito. Peppa decided to find out. She stayed awake, hiding under the bed, and she saw the baby rise from her crib. She didn't crawl, she walked like a grown-up. She went over to George, leaned in, and the next morning Peppa told Mummy everything. But Mummy only said, "She's our child, and now she must feed." Every night, Peppa never slept again, because at night the baby whispers to her, "You're sweet. Your turn is soon." Deleted Peppa Pig episode, Now There Are 3 of Us, which was never showed on TV. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos. Mummy Pig had been acting strange since early morning. She was silent, gently rubbing her belly, and not answering any questions. "Mummy, are you okay?" Peppa asked. "Yes, it's just that someone new will be joining us soon." Mummy smiled, but the smile looked forced. Daddy Pig said it would be another little brother or sister, but he looked pale and avoided Peppa's eyes. That night, Peppa woke up to a scratching noise inside the wall near her bed. She thought it was George, but he was sound asleep in his own bed. The scratching came again, closer, now from beneath the floor. In the morning, Mummy said, "Today we're bringing home a new family member. You must welcome him kindly." That evening, the door opened, but it wasn't a baby on the threshold. It was a piglet, pale, with empty eyes. He didn't oink. He just stared at Peppa. "His name is Lynn," Mummy whispered. "He's been waiting to return for a long time." "Where is he going to sleep?" Peppa asked in a trembling voice. "In your bed, of course. You're the big sister now. You'll let him have it, won't you?" Deleted Peppa Pig episode, The Invisible Friend and the Disappearance of Everyone, which was never showed on TV. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos. Peppa started talking to someone while playing alone. "She's my new friend," she said. "No one else can see her. Only me." Mummy and Daddy Pig laughed. Everyone has imaginary friends, Daddy Pig said. But with each day, Peppa grew quieter. She ate less. She kept staring into the empty corner of the room. "She says you want to take me away," Peppa whispered. One night, her parents heard a voice coming from the children's room. It wasn't Peppa's voice. "She's with us now," said something in a wet, whispering tone. They rushed into the room. The bed was empty. On the floor, a chalk circle, and inside it, "Do not disturb, playing with Peppa." The pig family called Madame Gazelle for help. She was not only a teacher, but, according to rumors, understood strange things. Madame Gazelle came to the house and immediately noticed the circle on the floor. She turned pale. "That's an ancient mark, a play seal. It must not be erased, or the one inside will be trapped forever." "Where is Peppa?" Mummy Pig cried. "She's there, but not alone," Madame Gazelle said quietly. That night, Madame Gazelle stayed in the house alone. At midnight, the room grew cold. A black shadow drifted out from the corner, with eyes all over its body. "I'm playing," the shadow whispered. "You're playing too. You're all playing." No one knows what happened that night, but the entire pig family vanished, and no one has been able to find them since. Deleted Peppa Pig episode Peppa's Last Birthday, which was never showed on TV. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more interesting videos. Peppa woke up in a great mood. Today was her birthday. Balloons, cake, presents, everything was ready. Mummy and Daddy Pig had decorated the house, and George drew a birthday card. All her friends were invited: Susie, Rebecca, Pedro, Danny. Even Madame Gazelle had promised to come. But when the party time arrived, no one showed up. "Maybe they're running late," said Mummy Pig, pouring some juice. "Maybe," Peppa replied, but deep inside she felt something strange. She decided to go look for her friends herself. First, she went to Susie's house. The door was open. Inside, silence. On the floor lay a single note written in shaky handwriting: "Don't go where the song begins." Peppa returned home. The house was empty. The lights started flickering, and from deep in the hallway she heard a voice, a child's voice, familiar. It was singing, "Happy birthday, Peppa." She ran upstairs to her room, and there she saw a photo that hadn't been there before. In it, Peppa, George, Mummy, Daddy, and all her friends. They were standing in a circle, but their eyes were closed, and behind them stood a black figure with long arms and a crooked smile. On the back of the photo it read, "This party is forever. Now you're one of us." The next day, the pig family vanished, but the house remained. And inside it, every evening, the same song echoes, "Happy birthday, Peppa." Hello everyone, our dear and loyal subscribers. You may have noticed that in every video, the same silhouette appears, the same shadow. Someone is following our beloved piglets. Very strange and scary. We also notice that in the episodes where Peppa receives strange letters, or when texts are scratched onto trees, or written in a fast, messy handwriting, it's always the same handwriting. Let's compare the silhouettes from past videos. For example, the one in the window and the one in the water. They do look similar, right? The silhouette in the hallway and the one in the forest. They're the same. So it seems that Peppa, George, and their family are being followed by some kind of monster. And not just them. In recent videos, we've seen that even Susie Sheep has started noticing strange things happening at her house. It's all so weird and mysterious, isn't it? Let's try to guess. What is this shadow? Why is it following our lovely little friends? Maybe it's someone's prank. Or maybe it's me. The very same shadow.